Hello and welcome to my presentation on the Gateway Hospital case. My name is Trevor Ram and I am a student in the Masters of Accounting program at Southern Utah University. The purpose of my presentation will be to go through the Giving Voice to Values framework in assessing the facts of this Gateway Hospital case. I will first discuss the pertinent facts of the case and then answer some questions as established by this GVV framework in order to determine what the most powerful and persuasive response to the case will be. So the essential facts of the case are that Troy, a supervisor, and Kristen, an employee at Gateway Hospital, have just returned from a business conference in Orlando. Not only is Orlando a great place to have a business conference, but it's also the home of Disney World, SeaWorld, and other amusement parks. And so this conference nicely coincided with Troy's kids' spring break. And so the whole family came along. It's great. They had a wonderful vacation. Unfortunately, it cost them a little bit more than they were anticipating. And so Troy has booked some of his personal family expenses as part of his travel reimbursement request with the hospital. Now, Kristen knows about this, and she knows about it and is approached by Joyce, who is the head of the accounting department there at Gateway Hospital. And Joyce has found some irregularities with Troy's reimbursement request, and so Kristen has decided to speak with Troy first before responding to Joyce. So Kristen, knowing that she's going to talk with Troy, the first thing she needs to do is think about what might be his reasons or rationalizations for what he did. And three things there are many reasons that Troy may have, but three that really stand out are: one, this is just a standard practice. This is the way things work at Gateway. Second is that the expenses that Troy has booked on his request are immaterial. It's not a lot of money that he's put on there. The third is that this is just a one-time trip that Troy is taking with his family, and that he wouldn't ask Kristen to cover for him in another situation like this, because it just won't happen. And so what are the stakes? When you think about what the stakes are for both actors, it's really coming down to reputation. For Troy, it's his reputation as a supervisor, the kind of tone at the top that he will set for his department. There may also be financial hardships at stake. He obviously wouldn't have asked for this money on his reimbursement request if he could pay it. And so if he has to pay these out of pocket, it'll be a financial hardship for him. Kristen, on the other hand, her reputation could be harmed because she's offending a supervisor potentially, and also she may set a bad first impression with the accounting department if she doesn't handle this situation in an ethical way. So what are the methods or the levers that Kristen can use? Well, she can step out of the way and let Joyce just directly interface with Troy. Kristen could have a confrontation with Troy where she comes in and says, look, this is what you need to do because the rules are the rules and that's how it goes, and handle this matter very insensitively. Or she could appeal to Troy to act ethically in his position as a supervisor. And so I believe that this is going to be Kristen's most powerful response, to appeal to Troy to act ethically and to amend his reimbursement request. I believe that Kristen should reach out to Troy as soon as possible after being approached by Joyce, and do it privately, and come to him and say, look, the accounting department clearly feels that this reimbursement request is irregular, it's a red flag, it's a material thing, and it's not business as usual around here. And so you're going to need to make this reimbursement request amendment. I think that, the most powerful thing she can say is that this will not just save your reputation, but it will enhance it. It'll set a strong tone at the top for the rest of us employees in your group. And so by appealing to Troy to act ethically in this situation, this will be Kristen's most powerful response. Thank you for listening to my presentation.